In the quiet and creaky attic of his grandfather's old house, Leo often found solace amidst the dusty relics of the past. One overcast afternoon, while exploring, his curious eye caught something glint amongst cobwebbed corners, a mirror. It was not like any ordinary mirror. This one was tall, its frame intricately carved with mythical creatures, and its reflection showed not the dingy room, but a landscape resembling a fractured Narnia, where the skies seemed to be cracked like a broken window. The sight was both mesmerizing and eerily unsettling. Leo, with a heart full of unanswered questions and a spirit seeking escape, reached out instinctively. The moment his fingers brushed against the cold surface of the mirror, he felt a pulling sensation, as if a whispering vortex had awakened. Within seconds, he was no longer in the attic but standing waist-deep in a swirling quicksand desert. This was no ordinary place. The sand shifted with a mind of its own, manifesting every shadow of doubt and fear Leo held deep inside, his unspoken secret. Realizing the desert was alive and fed off his despair, Leo felt a pang of profound loneliness. "Is anyone here? Help!" he shouted, hoping for an echo. Silence answered, accompanied by the relentless sucking of the sands. Panic surged through him, but he knew he had to remain calm. He took deep breaths, imagining the faces of those he loved, even if they didn't know the real him. Suddenly, a faint shimmer appeared above the broken sky, a path of light weaving through the darkness. Intrigued, Leo grasped at this thread of hope. As he concentrated on following it, the quicksand's grip lessened, responding to his flickering luminescence of self-acceptance. With each step toward honesty, the sands receded until he found solid ground beneath his feet. Standing firm, Leo saw the mirror once more, floating before him like an old friend. He realized that this land, although daunting, was a reflection of his inner struggle. By confronting the truth, he could mend the fractures within both the world and himself. With a newfound resolve, Leo pressed his hand against the mirror. The vortex awakened again, pulling him back to the attic, leaving the quicksand desert as nothing more than a fading memory. Breathing heavily, Leo stared at the attic's familiar shadows, a single tear of relief slipping down his cheek. The journey through the reflection had been an awakening, helping him understand that embracing oneself was the first step to truly stepping out of the shadows. Once upon a time in a land where the horizon was painted with splashes of magic, lived a pansexual centaur bard named Callan. Callan was known for enchanting melodies that could summon a rainbow after a downpour. However, one fateful morning, his music vanished from his soul as mysteriously as it had come. In his quest to find it, he wandered through a mist-cloaked forest until he stumbled upon a bustling workshop within a towering tree. Inside the workshop was a deaf dwarf, known as Durngar, the inventor. Durngar wore glasses as round and big as saucer plates and had a bushy beard that almost touched the ground. He was a genial fellow with a mind as sharp as the thorns of a rose. Durngar was bent over his newest contraption, a marvelous machine that could translate sign language into harmonious songs, filling the air with melodies. Callan approached Durngar, hopeful that they might help each other find what they both needed. Upon learning of Callan's predicament, Durngar signed enthusiastically, "Let's journey together, my friend. Perhaps the ocean's winds hold your lost music." And so, their journey began. The duo sailed upon the stormy ocean, a sea that mirrored Callan's own anxiety. The voyage was tumultuous, with towering wave-shaped monsters challenging their path. These monsters roared with the crashing noise of thunder and bellowed winds. But Callan had courage stowed away beneath his coat, and Durngar had a quick wit that flared like a spark. Armed only with strings of hope, Callan caressed his lyre, using Durngar's machine to translate the whirling motions of his hooves into music. As the joyful sounds filled the air, the wave monsters wavered, their edges dissolving until they became mere ripples in the water. Together, the centaur bard, and the ingenious dwarf learn to confront the ocean of anxiety. By journey's end, Callan found more than his music. He discovered that friendship and understanding were melodies that could light the darkest skies. And Durngar? He unlocked the rhythms of silence, proving that even the quietest voices could orchestrate grand symphonies. The two returned to their land, not as separate notes, but as a harmonious chord that would inspire generations to come. And they lived melodiously ever after, united by the songs they created together in their hearts. In a distant realm known as the Lighthouse of Hope, there lived a young dreamer named Leo. The inhabitants of this realm believed in nurturing and guiding all who entered their midst, for they served as beacons of hope for creatures from every corner of existence. Each lighthouse towered above the clouds, casting radiant glows to heal and inspire those who felt lost. Leo, a gentle soul wearing a perpetual frown, wandered into hope one blustery morning. His presence seemed to dim the glistening aura of the realm, like a shadow creeping over sunshine. Unbeknownst to him, Leo carried within his chest a secret, his petrified heart. Ancient scripts told of this mysterious ailment, where self-rejection grew solid like a stone, causing fractures within one's inner world. For Leo, this heart was the very reason Narnia, his cherished fantasy land, lay fractured and in chaos. One breezy evening, Leo found himself standing in front of the grand mirror of Reflect, a mystical artifact known to reveal truths hidden deep within. Before he could courageously gaze into it, a sinister figure emerged from behind. This was Leo's own shadow self, a duplicate extracted by the forces of self-doubt and fear. "You know," the shadow hissed coolly, "your heart's petrification is the source of Narnia's fracture." The revelation shook Leo, yet the shadow's words echoed in the gentle wind as if speaking a truth he had long ignored. "You must shatter the mirror," the shadow insisted, "to obliterate the pain." But Leo hesitated, sensing that breaking the mirror would make him lose more than he had already. Drawing strength from the lighthouse of hope, Leo steadied his gaze into the mirror. Instead of shattering it, he whispered to his shadow self, "I may not have the courage to change overnight, but I will learn to accept all parts of me." With that, the reflection of the shadow began to dissolve, softening into light. The petrified heart within Leo started to thaw and pulse with warmth, piece by piece. As the light grew, Narnia slowly stitched itself back together in his mind's eye, vivid colors blossoming in every corner, characters singing songs of renewal. Leo realized that self-acceptance was the magical salve they always needed, and in that moment, hope's light shone brighter than ever, beaconing for miles in every direction. Deep within the enchanted forests of Aliveria, a brave team embarked on a quest to rebuild the legendary Key of Realms. This wasn't just any ordinary key. Crafted from celestial fragments, it was said to open the doors to worlds beyond imagination. Yet, it had been lost to time, shattered into countless pieces. The team comprised of a diverse group of creatures: a wise centaur named Celestus, who played the celestial harp; Dwin, the gentle dwarf whose hands moved with the grace and precision of an artist, weaving stories in the air with his sign language; and Leo, a courageous young boy with a heart as pure as the light he carried within. Each possessed a unique gift, essential for the restoration of the key. Under the night sky, glittering with stars like jewels, Celestus began to play. His music didn't just drift through the air, it resonated with the very essence of magic, calling the scattered pieces of the key from obscurity. As the melody wrapped around them, Dwin began his silent dance, his fingers painting the history and purpose of the key in motions brighter than moonlight. The fragments, like moths to a flame, gathered together, each drawn by the music and sealed by the story told through Dwin's hands. Yet, as the final piece hovered into place, a shadow emerged, flickering menacingly before Leo. This shadow was his own, formed from past fears and doubts. It sneered, whispering, "You are nothing but a mistake." But Leo, with a determined glint in his eye, stood tall. "I am not your mistake," he proclaimed. In an act of sheer defiance, Leo smashed an old, decrepit mirror that the shadow had manifested. The mirror shattered, scattering reflections of past insecurities. From the shards, he summoned the light within himself, forging a new mirror, brighter, purer. The new mirror reflected not fear, but courage, and not darkness, but light. United, the newly forged key of realms glowed like a miniature sun in Celesta's hand, ready to unlock the portals it once governed. The team had done the impossible, using music, motion, and the purest part of the human spirit. Their adventure had not only rekindled an ancient power, but had also ignited the light within their own hearts, proving that the most potent magic lies within us all. In the mystical land of Narnia, things were not quite as they seemed. Trees whispered old secrets to the wind, and streams giggled through the forest, tickling the toes of unsuspecting travelers. Narnia was a place where every creature danced to nature's tune, and where magic lingered like the scent of wild roses on a summer's breeze. Leo, a gentle and kind-hearted boy, found Narnia's charm irresistible. Once a young lad with boundless curiosity, Leo had stumbled into this hidden world through his grandfather's enchanted mirror, and his life had never been the same. One day, as Narnia bathed in the golden hues of sunset, Leo discovered a peculiar mirror in the heart of the Whispering Woods. The mirror, a gift from the ancient beings of Narnia, shimmered with a light all its own, woven with magic and wisdom. As he gazed into it, Leo was enchanted by what he saw, his own reflection, holding the hand of a boy, a companion of kindness and laughter. Leaning forward, the reflection smiled and kissed the boy on the cheek. At first, Leo was puzzled. This was not a mirror of reality, nor was it an ordinary reflection. It was a mirror that revealed the truth of one's soul, and in that moment, Leo felt a warmth spread in his heart. It was as though Narnia itself understood him in a way he had only begun to understand himself. Back home, having left Narnia's embrace, Leo remembered his grandfather's old attic where an aged note awaited him. "Some mirrors reflect souls, not faces," the note read in his grandfather's elegant script. Leo pondered these words, realization dawning like the first light of dawn. His grandfather had known the secrets of soul mirrors. Mirrors that revealed the true essence of one's heart. It was a message of subtle acceptance and gentle understanding. On this adventure, Leo had not only discovered Narnia's wonders, but had begun to uncover his own. Leo returned to Narnia whenever he could, embracing the land that accepted him fully. With each journey, and with every glance in the magical mirror, Leo found strength in his reflection, and a mirrored soul that was truly seen. Thus, Narnia healed old wounds and new, weaving acceptance into the hearts of those who dared to look beyond their reflection.